let's go back to Angela first, because there's quite a few things to discuss on this that I think are going to be relevant to a lot of people. So I'll let you go first, Timo.
All right. So the question is that my very small dog has crusty ears and itchy, stinky, sore spots on armpits. I've tried so many things, including vets, but nothing works. Any ideas? She eats real meat mostly. Thanks. So what you mean with real meat? So, and that's not a rhetorical question. So the real meat, are you talking about typical ground beef bought from the supermarket? Are you talking about organ meats, offal from different parts? Is it mechanically gained meat scratching the bone, or is it a piece of steak that is cut and minced? I don't know. So these are important questions, because most of the meat you can give, it can be pork, it can be beef, is worthless in a sense that it doesn't contain the four main things that your dog needs. One is vitamin D, it's not in the meat. Calcium, it's not in the meat. Silica, it's not in the meat. And some of the vitamins, it's not in the meat. So the meat doesn't contain them. And most of the carnivores don't eat meat, and meat sense muscle meat as their main energy and vitamin mineral source. They would eat organ meats to cover that. And they would eat some fruits and berries and plants to cover that. So normally the muscle meat is the main energy source for the dog or the cat, not the vitamin mineral source. It looks like your dog has some kind of immune problems. And this always shows itself as, on the skin, under the armpits. As you said, this looks like either your dog has a certain reaction to the protein you are feeding, and or has problems with the immune system and light IBS that shows itself as what you are describing. So if you want to move on with this, of course you can go to the course, but a short advice would be cover 10% of the meal as organs, mostly liver and heart, and give some blueberries, add some parsley, and try to alternate protein sources so that the same protein is not hitting the bloodstream all the time.
And Angela, I agree with everything that Timo says, as always, because his halo is up there. But the other thing I would say is I see quite a lot of problems with this. As Timo said, your dog's microbiome is very out of balance. So there's lots more advice that I can give you on that. Go back and have a look at perhaps I've got a video on my YouTube channel with Andy Mills about gut health, but I've got some other fantastic products that I can recommend, because quite often dogs have high levels of heavy metals, pesticides and herbicides in their system, which can make it very difficult when you've got this residual toxicity. So I will be talking either on Friday or next week about some really good products that can get those out of your dog's system, which is crucial. So I would also be looking at making sure you minimize any shampoos, chemical flea, tick, wormers, etc., all of which are going to negatively affect your dog's microbiome. So the course will really, really help you get those good nutrients in, good as quality as possible. And we explain what we mean by that in so much detail. And also we need to probably look with your little dog about pulling some of these contaminants in a very safe way out of the body and making sure no more are going into there. Got a good question here, Timo, that my dog has a raw meat diet with offal and bone included. I read this has all the nutrients and organs and bone. Is this right?
80% right. The 20% is still missing. Can be 10% depending on the quality of the offal you are giving. But no dog is 100% carnivore. And normally they would get some of the plant nutrients from the animal's prey's intestinal tract. And they would also chew some grass, some plants, and some fruits when they have the chance to. So bring some variety and bring some plants. But again, I'm not against it. But I don't see any dog craving vegetables at all. So it's not like you have to feed your dogs with carrots and stuff. Like it's not necessary. But some parsley, some rich leaves green leaves, and some blueberries and stuff. It's highly, highly, highly effective for the dog's health.
Yeah, and organic where possible, if you can afford it. Obviously, we just all do the best we can, but it's really important. And one of the things that I would also add to that, Kim, is making sure your dog's getting a variety. So no animal is designed to eat the same thing every meal, every day. So making sure that they're getting different protein sources and some variety in their diet is really, really important. Timo, we've got a good question here from Gypsy Daisy. Are there any healthy options for treats?
Yes, of course. Fish, small fish, anchovy, sardines, depends where you are. Maybe herring, small herring, not salted and not smoked. It's important. Lightly cooked or air dried, that's okay. This is a very good, also it's a very good joint supplement in itself. The fish is a perfect joint supplement in itself. Also, low starch sweet potato slices from time to time. Celery sticks, super good.
Mine love sweet potato. Because I love sweet potato, and so as treats, I slice mine, Gypsy Daisy, and I cook them. I do different things because one of my dogs is 15 now, or nearly 15. So she loves it with a little bit of turmeric sprinkled over it, with a tiny little bit of olive oil on, and not olive oil, coconut oil, just to coat it to make the turmeric stick. But if not, just baked in the oven. Little bits of liver can be quite good treats as well, can't they?
Yeah, if it's dried properly, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So lots of healthy treat options that you can do, but basically a bit like us, that the least processed it is, the better. Quite a few of my neighbours have actually had puppies, and they've been able to get their dogs to have little chunks of lightly steamed vegetables as treats because they love it. And sometimes if you mix it in with a little bit of meat, it takes on that that smell, and they go for it really well. MJ, my dog can't stop licking our paws. This is very linked to the microbiome and the diet again often, isn't it, Timo?
That's correct. By the way, there are different types. If some dogs would only really lick the paw, and that can be also cracking paw is sometimes a typical sign for it. Lack of minerals, as you said, microbiome being not in balance is typical sign. And walking onto too cold floor for some dogs, it is a sign. So if it's already cold outside and you walk every day with your dog 1 hour and it's always cold, some dogs show this response, but some dogs will also lick the other upper part of their paws all the time. And that is a typical sign of mineral imbalance, very typical. And yeah, maybe Catherine, you have something to add for it.
Yeah, so a lot of these are coming from either nutritional deficiencies or the fact that you've got the wrong mix of things or in your food. And quite often the sad reality is now is a lot of the food that our dogs eat or we eat is very heavily contaminated with antibiotics, pesticides, herbicides and chemicals. So quite often it can be a sign that there's nasty toxins as well to get out. So I recommend, having a look at the overall balance of your diet, taking into account what Timo said about the possible physical causes, and then looking at actually putting some things in to support your dog's microbiome and get the microbiome working really healthily.